everyone, welcome back to the kitchen. It's that time. It is almost time to get started planting. So I've got a seed haul for you today. Let's go see what I've put together. It is time to start thinking about getting your garden in order. If you are a gardener or maybe you are just thinking about starting one, I highly encourage you to do that because right now growing your own food is probably something that I would strongly encourage everyone to think about doing. We did not have a garden last year because I had surgery and it was difficult, so we just decided to skip it. We live in an area where there are a lot of local farms and neighbors who have big gardens, so it's not ever a hard thing to get your hands on good, fresh local produce. But this year we have a sense of urgency with the global situation and the economy and what have you. I already started thinking about doing a rather large deck and patio style garden, and I'm gonna try and do the wading pool system for a few things, and I bought some really cool equipment that we're going to be showing you in another video. But I bought some grow towers and I bought some light starting kits and some heat mats, so we're going to really get the ball rolling here. That being said, I live in eastern North Carolina. We do get a little bit of a winter. It hardly ever freezes, but even so, we have learned in the time that we've lived here that you do not even put plants in the dirt until after the 1st of April, sometimes the second week in April, and then sometimes you might have to even wait until Mother's Day. It just really depends, the weather being what it is. Now in your area, you're gonna know what that is. Maybe if you don't, you can ask a local extension office, or maybe ask some neighbors or friends who are into gardening, when do you start doing this? And it's never too soon to start planning how you're gonna do things and gathering all of your supplies. So that being said, all of my seeds that I'm going to show you today have come from Baker Creek Heirloom Seed. You can find them at rareseeds.com. This video is not sponsored. I purchased all of these seeds with my own money, and I just love their seeds and their quality, and that's where we're going to go. So we're going to start with tomatoes. I bought, look, I'm a sucker for seeds. I want them all. I probably can't possibly grow every single thing, but I'm going to grow some. To, you know, if I have friends who maybe want to put some in their garden, it's always nice to have a few extra to share. And we are going to go ahead and start the seeds in another video. So we'll just be doing this little series of gardening videos. Maybe once a week we'll do a gardening update and what have you, just like we did in the past. So this is the Grappolini tomato. This, I think this one is a winter grape tomato, and it's like a baby Roma tomato. So I'm actually excited to grow all of these things, so I'll just lay these all out. Cherokee Purple, one of our absolute favorites. You've great success with these here. They have a wonderful flesh. They're not very seedy, and they have just a wonderful flavor, and they grow really easy where I live. We thought we'd give this lemon blush tomato a try. In the past we've done Carolina. There's like a golden Carolina tomato. There's also a lemon boy tomato, and I haven't been able to find those in the last few years. So we're gonna give this Thornburn's lemon blush tomato a try. The yellow tomatoes typically are lower in acid, so this is not something you wanna use in a canning recipe, definitely for slicing and eating, and it's gonna be delicious in any case. Mortgage lifters, these are super successful, easy to grow. They're very large, and there's a reason they're called mortgage lifter, because the originator of the seed actually grew them to pay off his house, and I love that little story. And I'm also gonna try growing this heirloom orange accordion tomato. You know, you see these in the grocery store and they want you to pay $7 a pound for them. Yeah, I don't think so. So we're going to see how this works out. I'm sure it's going to be sweet and delicious. I'm sure that the cells are not going to be full of a lot of pulp, but I'm really excited about that one too. So there's our tomato selection. Next up, we have the pepper seeds that I chose for this year. And if you're a beginning gardener, peppers are definitely something you should consider starting with. Peppers, tomatoes, they're all really easy to grow with a few different rules than, you know, I feel like cabbages and celery and things like that, they're a little more difficult. But overall, all of the things I chose are not hard. They all have a few different little rules that you have to follow, but peppers and tomatoes are definitely simple. So we've got a tam jalapeno. These are really beautiful, nicely sized jalapenos, and they're not super spicy, but I do love them. We always grow jalapenos, and you know what? Jalapenos can actually be wintered over if you live in a mild climate. And we've got banana peppers. These are great for pickling, putting on sandwiches and what have you. And if you guys have been with me for any period of time, you know my family does call me the pepper queen. And that is not a joke. I've never seen a pepper plant or pepper seed packet that I didn't want to try and grow. So it'll be evidenced here with these many seed packets of peppers. Next up is the shishito pepper. I've always wanted to give those a try. That's a Japanese style pepper. It can be a little bit spicy, but not terrible. A yellow monster. This is a yellow bell pepper that's elongated. It's a sweet pepper. Here's another sweet pepper is the bullnose poblano. This is a somewhat spicy pepper. We like to use these for chili relleno, and also they're just great chopped up in an omelet or thrown in with your cheesesteak. Anything really. Here's another sweet pepper, Ozark Giant. I've never grown those before, so we're going to give those a try. And Cubanales, which are like, they call it a stuffing pepper. They're not really spicy, but they're like, if you think, they're like a giant sweet banana pepper. And then we've got these are a spicy Italian pepper. I think these are great for making vinegar, hot vinegar, and we're going to give those a try. And then last but not least, the habanada, only because they looked really cool and they're peppers. So yeah, I know it looks like a little bit overkill on the pepper scene. So that's where we're at with those. You can't have a salad garden without some cucumbers. So I picked these because these are the closest thing to my favorite style of cucumber, which is a Persian cucumber. They're the small little cucumbers that you can buy in the store. They're light on seeds and they're just very easy to eat. This says it does not require any cross-pollination, and it also doesn't produce any male flowers, which I thought was really interesting. So this only produces female flowers that produce fruit. So I will be very interested to see how that all works. They also sent me a handful of free seed packets, but I'll probably go ahead and plant a couple of these. This is the Beet Alpha, and I don't know what those are going to be like. Then we've got some golden zucchini, some Ford Hook zucchinis, which are the regular green zucchini. And then I've got these white, long white of Palermo zucchini. Not gonna lie, only because I thought they looked really cool. So, and then I've got some sugar baby watermelons. Then I've got celery. I've never grown celery, ever. So this is the Chinese pink celery.
Oh, they can smell it.
Yeah, you can smell it through the packet, right? This is Chinese white celery, and this is the Dilen. I don't know how you say it. But these two are called a cutting celery, and there's probably some glare on there, but these you just can cut and they'll continue to grow. And this is more of a traditional bunch celery like you buy in the grocery store. When you harvest it, you would harvest it at the root. You can do that with these too, but these are considered cutting celeries. So we love celery. I'm constantly buying it. We use it a lot in our recipes in our house, in almost everything like soups and stir fries and what have you. But let's see, I've got a couple of packets of Sugar Daddy. These are sugar snap peas. These are both the same. I bought 2 packets. Don't know why, I just did. And then I bought 3 packets of these jade beans, and I'm pretty sure that that was an accident. So I might have some friends who want to grow jade beans, and I'm pretty sure these are a bush bean, so that means they don't climb. They stay a certain height, and you can just go out there and pick the beans as they grow, and that's what we like. This, I understand, is a very high producer. I have grown Blue Lake green beans in the past that are bush bean and love them, so we're going to give these a try this time. And then we're going to do this is a crisp mint romaine style lettuce. We're going to give that a try. Some of this Merlot Nero spinach. This is a slow to bolt, heat tolerant spinach. Then I've got also a heat tolerant cabbage, the Coeur de Boeuf. And then I went ahead, I'm going to give broccoli rabe a try. It might be a little too late for me to get this in the ground because broccoli is kind of a fall winter crop, does like the cooler weather, but this says it's slow to bolt, and I'm gonna give it a try anyway because what do I have to lose? A packet of seeds. And then I've got like a whole bunch of herbs. I'm just gonna start over here because tomatoes and basil go together like peas and carrots. I've got lime basil, Genovese basil, that's like their typical broadleaf basil that you would find for like caprese salad or what have you. I got some purple basil, some sage. I got a couple of packets of dill, and we'll move over here. I have a packet of thyme, marjoram. I have 2 different kinds of oregano. Now remember, if you've heard me say this before, marjoram is the kinder, gentler cousin of oregano. So if you are not a fan of the strong, pungent flavor of oregano, then marjoram might just be the herb for you. It is also often called Mexican oregano, so that's where I think people hear the word marjoram and they maybe confuse that or maybe just don't know. This is a wild za'atar oregano. This is from the Middle East. Here's a vulgare oregano. You can see they look very similar, but their leaf structure is just a little bit different. I'm sure they taste very similar, but we're gonna find out because I'm gonna plant both of them. Of course, we got some parsley, some slow bolt cilantro. I have some mandarina lemon balm, which I think is kind of silly because it's orange lemon balm, and then limoncello lemon balm. And then I bought some lovage.
What lovage is?
Lovage is like a leafy herb that tastes like celery. It's also really good for interplanting with your tomatoes and your peppers, and it helps, it's like a pest control almost herb, so that's really cool.
Like celery tops.
That's what it tastes like too, like celery leaves. And then I bought 2 packets of chamomile. Next up, we have some Chinese chives, and these are flat leaf chives. Like they have a garlicky taste to them, so they're kind of like garlic chives. So we're gonna give those a try. And I got some, these are just some green onions. Got those, and I got some chervil. Now, if you're not familiar with chervil, again, chervil is the cousin of the tarragon, and it has it's also known as French parsley, and it has a little bit of an anisey flavor, but not too much. You can use this anywhere you would use tarragon. Like, it's great with fish, it's great with chicken, it's completely up to you. Now we have the free seeds that they also sent me, which include a rainbow poppy mix, 2 more of those alpha beet cucumbers, a Japanese wasabi radish, and a Thornburns terracotta tomato, which I think looks really beautiful. So I've got my work cut out for me this year. I'm really excited. In 2020, we did the deck garden that I shared with you with the grow bags and everything else. It was very successful. We were very pleased with our yield, but we want to broaden our horizons, and I think that I'm going to do more grow bags in like wading pools or in other ways. We just want to have the most yield possible with what we have decided to plant. Also, I have some other seeds coming from another company, but it's really only 2 packets, and there are 2 different kinds of other tomatoes that I want to give a try. So we're going to have our work cut out for us, and hopefully we'll be able to produce enough for our family and enough to share. And that's ultimately my goal, is to be able to share and make sure that we have the fresh produce that we need for as long as possible. We live in an area where our growing season is very, very long, and we can grow tomatoes and peppers well into November, even beyond that. So that's just definitely something we would like to be able to keep ourselves in lettuce and spinach for the entire year, if that's at all possible. It's definitely a challenge, and one that I'm willing to live up to. So that is our wonderful seed haul from Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds. We'll see how all of this turns out. We will be sharing this step by step as we go along, so be sure you stay tuned to the channel. I'll leave a link down below to rareseeds.com in the description box if you want to go check them out. It's not too late to get your seeds, but I will say I was on the site the other day and some of the seeds are selling out for this year. So if you're thinking about even putting in a small you know, patio deal, then it might be the time to do that. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you give a, you know, consideration to starting your garden. And until next time, I'll see ya.